All right. Good evening, everybody. It's Joe Carollo again at Carollo's Corner on www.itsallaboutschools.com. I'm here tonight with Pitman Panthers head coach Chris Thomas. Chris, if you want to say hello to everyone.
Yeah, hey, everybody. Oh God, sorry. It's been a rough day. I've had a long day, allergies, but I'll hopefully I can get this figured out tonight. But yeah, appreciate you having me on, Joe.
Yeah, no problem, Chris. Appreciate you being here. Real quick, just give everybody briefly some, your background, and you're kind of new on the head coaching scene.
Yeah, so I've been an assistant at Pittman since 2008. Well, I should say from 2008 till 2015. In 2015, I took over as head coach at Pittman. Been there ever since. This is my ninth year. So I spent my entire coaching career at Pittman, which is also where I went to school at too. So.
Oh, awesome. I was just going to ask you. So what do you like about Pittman specifically? You could have gone, I'm sure you could have coached a couple places, but.
Yeah, I think anybody will tell you if you can coach at your hometown, place you grew up at, especially for me, I literally grew up across from our football field. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, played youth football, high school football in that field. Obviously went to school there, and now I teach and coach there. And like I said, you talk to anybody, it's just a little different when you are able to do all that stuff at your hometown.
A lot of people.
You know everybody. For better or for worse, everybody knows you. But it's you feel like you just kind of have a little bit more of your finger on the pulse a little bit more, and it's it just means a little more to you.
Yeah, I have a lot of people in my hometown too. They had coached other places, and they always wanted to come back. Just this, special place here in town. I want to ask you about some of your goals this year and moving forward. I know you're what are you 1-2 right now? Is that your record?
1-3 right now.
1-3.
Yeah.
I know it's not going as planned. What's your outlook for the rest of the year, though? How do you right the ship here?
Yeah, it's it's been obviously not what we want. We had a chance to win all those games. We lost 3 games by a combined 16 points. So we feel like we're right there, but obviously we got to find a way to finish some of these things. But as far as goals go, coming into the season, our guys wanted to make the playoffs. They wanted to repeat as division champions. As far as the playoffs go, there a lot of math involved in that.
Oh yeah, we were going over that last night. Yeah,
yeah. I'm not even going to try to do that, but certainly the division is still a possible goal for us. So that's definitely there. We obviously want to finish the season strong on Thanksgiving when we play Clayton. That's a huge game for both schools. So all that stuff's still in front of us, and it's definitely stuff that we're looking forward to each day when we hit the field.
All right, I'm going to get to Clayton in just a minute. What are your goals moving forward into the future? Like, what would it take, you think, to become an elite Group 1 team, to be mentioned with the Woodburys and Paulsboroughs and Salems of the world? What will that take behind the scenes, and what could you personally do to, help, move the ball there?
Yeah, I think we've done a nice job getting ourselves to this point. One of the things that we're working really hard on right now is our youth program. We're kind of in a spot where our youth and anybody will tell you how important a youth program is to high school success.
Absolutely.
And our youth program's kind of going through what we went through about 6 years ago, where we had to drop to JV, and we struggled with numbers. So we're fighting that, and thankfully we were able to come out on the other side of that. Our youth program's kind of going through something like that, but we've got a lot of great people down there, and I think the number one goal for us, and as me as a coach, I'm fortunate enough to be involved with both programs. I think we've got to get it going down at the lower levels too, and then I know we can keep it going up at the high school level. I think if we can get that kind of continuity going, I think that's the biggest key to our success as far as reaching that upper echelon group.
Right, and that's a great thing you're doing. Working with the youth program to get those kids, to stay home, so to speak, not transfer anywhere else. Yeah. It's a big deal. I like what you just said. I think the future could look bright there. Any other issues? Let's say not just in Pittman, but in general in the New Jersey football landscape. Any changes you like, changes you don't like? What changes you'd like to see made? What anything on your mind there?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's certainly above my pay grade in terms of how to enforce this kind of stuff, but I think I'm just maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not with the times. Maybe I'm stuck in my ways. But I would prefer it. You play where you live, and you got. Unfortunately, you see a lot of trickling down from the upper levels. The professional level trickles into the college level, and now you got stuff at the college level that trickles into the high school level. So you feel like you have your own. You feel like you got transfer portals all over the place now, and Like I said, I'm not sure exactly what the answer is, but if I could, wave a magic wand and make something happen, I would say let's keep everybody in their hometowns and let's just, let's go play with who we have. That would be, my personal preference.
And I
But
agree with you about 1,000%. I know a lot of people will object to my opinion. That's fine. I object to their opinion.
yeah,
What I loved about what attracted me to high school football, becoming such a fan that I am, is the fact that it wasn't, at the time at least, it wasn't corrupted. You know what I mean?
yeah,
My team
yeah,
versus your team, and let's see who win. Now it's everybody's all of a sudden a scholar athlete, and
yeah.
everybody's and
I would also say, Joe, too, if and again, this is something that's got to be addressed at a higher level. If you're going to have these rules and you're going to have these, you know, penalties or whatever whatever you want to call them, when people break these rules, I feel like they have to be enforced equally across the board. And I just don't think that is something that, for whatever reason, whether it's the NJSIAA is just understaffed or just it's just not in their purview or whatever the case may be. But when you have some schools that have that play by the rules and some others that are much more lenient, you lose that level playing field that I think we all want high school sports to be about.
exactly. Again, I agree 1,000%. Not just 100, but 1,000.
1,000, yeah.
All right. We're gonna get to Clayton in a minute. Maybe they're the answer to this next question. What's your favorite team to play? Your favorite rivalry? The biggest team you look forward to playing?
Yeah, you nailed it. It's definitely Clayton. It's like so many stories over the years, both as a player and a coach. I think if my math is right, which it probably is not, I believe in 2025, I believe it'll be the 100th meeting between our schools. So,
Nice.
which is great for both towns. Both towns love it. Not so good for me because I played in the 75th, which means I'm just getting old. So,
well, let me ask you this.
but hey, it's
a lot of
I'm
people.
saying
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's great for both schools, and they both love it, and both schools love it. Both towns love it, and it's just it's a great atmosphere. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, I've been to a few of those games. They are exciting. They've been good, the ones I've been to. But real quick, a lot of people that aren't familiar with it, real as quick as you could. I know we're not going to go on forever. Tell me a little bit about the history of the rivalry. How did it start? Because a lot of times you'll have neighboring towns play each other Thanksgiving. You're not neighboring towns. Glassboro separates you guys.
Yeah.
How did a Pitman Clayton rivalry start? And just give me some history. Give the people.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I wish I could sit here and tell you the whole history of it. Obviously, we're getting on close to 100 years.
Right.
What I can tell you is that, and it goes, whatever the math ends up being. But I know there was a couple years way back. I want to say it's in the early 1900s where, you had a lot of things going on. You had some wars going on, and I know for whatever reason, a couple of times it didn't get played. But the fact that it goes back that far and that it just kind of speaks to the history of it. But you also have a lot of crossover between people that live in Clayton and now or grew up in Clayton, now live in Pitman, and a lot of Pitman people that found their way into Clayton, and then you get the families that kind of are split. So it's very much of a to borrow a term from my alma mater, West Virginia. It's kind of like our backyard brawl. Even though there might be glassboro between us, we still feel like they might as well be next door. So
awesome. See, I like that. This is another thing I love about high school football. Neighboring towns of equal size playing each other. We're getting less and less of that every year.
Yeah.
I could do this in another interview about the WJFL scheduling. I know there's been a lot of controversy there. So before we wrap this up, what's your best and what's your worst memory of coaching all these years?
So I'll start with my worst. My worst is I would say it's definitely got to be the time we had to drop to JV for about a year and a half. We had to, I believe it was 2017. We came into the season. We had 13 kids. We had and a lot of this goes back. We had a few of our kids transfer. We had kids who realized that they were our best players, so maybe they weren't as willing to play. And you look around, you got 13 kids, and we made a very, very tough decision. I was very fortunate, still am very fortunate to have administration that supports me and backs me up. And we made the call to go to JV for a year, and then we actually made it where that next year was a hybrid where we were half JV, half varsity.
Yeah, and let me interrupt you for just a second. I think it might have been sad at the time. I think that move was a very positive one when you look at the entire story from beginning to end. You guys have had a couple winning seasons in the last few years. I think it was a great move. It worked long term rather
Sure.
than trying to put that Band-Aid on that keeps falling off. But anyway, yes, what is your best memory since you've been coaching?
Yeah, without I mean, I'm fortunate enough to have a few of them, but the best one, it's funny, it was only a year ago, but I was actually thinking about it again today. You see things, just around the school or, even in my house that remind me of the night we won the division title last year when we
Oh
beat
yeah,
Pennsville 14-7. Yeah, it was our first division championship since 1949, I believe.
right.
It also pretty much clinched the playoff spot for us, which was the first playoff appearance we would have since '99, which is my freshman year. So that moment, along with obviously the playoff the following week, that whole experience right there, something I'll never forget. And as far as coaching goes to this point, I would say it's definitely my most favorite memory.
All right, terrific, Chris. I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. This should be up on the website in a day or two. Again, it's look for Carullo's Corner on www.itsallaboutscores.com. I want to say thanks again. Good luck the rest of the season. And, we're going to put together another great highlight film, have that done in the spring for you.
Yep.
And we will talk to you soon. Thank you again, Chris.
Great. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.